Hi all, Jessie B Scrapbooking back with another process video. This one is for Stamp It Like It's Hot. And today we are doing a pattern paper background out of stamps. So, or make your own pattern paper, I guess is how it is. So I grabbed this stamp set. I got it on Amazon. I actually have two of these. This is the bigger one, and then I have another one with the same exact stamps, but smaller. So I have all these in two different sizes, and it's really cool, and I really like it, and I've used them both quite a bit. So this time I just put every single one of the stamps that was on the bigger stamp set, or larger stamp set, I should say, onto my stamp positioner, and I am just going to stamp it down onto this piece of white cardstock. And I love the stamp positioner because you can restamp everything multiple times, and that way you get a nice crisp stamp for each of the things. So here is I'm trying to figure out how to do without having to move my stamps, how to get it so I can do this whole pattern paper. So I thought about turning it and then just taking some stamps off, but I didn't want to do that. So I just moved it up higher, and now I'm just going to stamp the top part of it down on the bottom and re-ink and stamp it again. I do them all a couple times just to make sure I have a nice crisp stamp on everything. So I love this little tool that I got. Sarah Scraps is the one that says to get it. She says that it works really well, and she is right. I absolutely love it. So I'm using it to put the down pressure onto the stamp positioner, and it doesn't even take a lot of pressure. It's just a lot easier to hold on to, and it glides over the glass, and it makes it really nice for stamping. So I am going to just move the paper off to the side and just do half of the stamps here, and I get in that. There is a couple spots that is not going to have a stamp, but I will take care of that in a second. And then this bottom corner, I could not figure out how to do it. I thought about doing it this way, but it's not a lot on there, and I was afraid it was going to move. So since it's the last one, I figured I'll just take stamps off, and I didn't want to put them away because I still have to clean them. So I'm just taking them off and laying them onto my craft mat here. And you can see me closing it and making sure the stamps aren't going to overlap any of the other stamps that are already on there. I do flip my butterfly the wrong direction, so I flip it again because I want to make sure the butterflies are all headed in the same direction. Everything else can be falling in different directions, but I wanted the butterflies all to be the same, pointing all the same way, upwards. They can go out either way, but I want them all to be able to be pointed up. So I flipped the butterfly, and now I'm stamping this one here, and I'm just using just some black ink that I got at Staples, and it's just like office ink, so there's nothing special about it, but it works. And so there it is. And now I'm going to take just a regular stamping block and fill in the spots that are empty, and then also go onto the outside edge to make it look like the pattern goes off the paper like it did on the bottom and on the sides that I did actually go off the paper on. So I'm just making it cohesive that way. And then I forgot to turn my camera on, and I didn't get me actually cutting the paper. So here's where I cut the paper into 3 sections, and I'm putting this onto a piece of black cardstock that I also gutted, and this is going to be the base of the layout. I'm putting this yellow cardstock on, and then I have this black and white buffalo print that I'm going to place over top of the yellow. So just the yellow gives it an outline on each side. And then that piece that I got out of the pattern paper, I backed my picture with. Now this picture is really funny. It's actually my husband. We were at a bow shoot, and my daughter gave him some moss and stuck it on his face. And because my husband cannot grow a mustache or beard, he's Native American, and it's very, very difficult for him to actually grow facial hair. It's quite funny because our son can grow facial hair no problem, and he takes after my dad, but my husband can't. So my daughter gave him a mustache, and we were being goofy out in the woods, and so I took a picture of him, and he's such a good sport. He let me take a picture, and yeah, he thought it was quite funny. So that's what this picture is my husband with his fake mossy mustache. And now I'm just adding, these are just leftover bits. So I made some cards the other day, which I didn't do on camera, but and I had these little die cut pieces left over. So I had two little black sprigs, and then this one butterfly. So I decided they would work perfect on this layout. So I'm adding them here, and then I decided I need a something else over there too. So I am going to get out my die cut machine and add a yellow flower in a second. But I figured this is where I want my picture to be, so I'm just going to glue it down. And I didn't want to put too much embellishments on this just because I took all that time to build that background or make that background. And I mean, it wasn't hard to make, but I love it and I don't want to cover it all up. So that's why I decided to do it this way. And that's why I gutted the page so that I have more of that background left. If I want to make a card or something with it, I still have all that stamping. So here's where I'm doing a really little yellow flower, and I'm just going to go over the sprigs like that, get those all glued down. And I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but in real life these sprigs show up really nice. And yeah, they don't blend in at all. So I'm going to get those on there. And then I do put a little, I just punch out a little circle, hole punch out of the black to make a dot in the center of the flower. I thought of doing white, and then I decided I want that pop of black, and I just think it looks really good. And then I needed just a tiny bit more, and so I grabbed my yellow puffy paint. I made a butterfly trail, and then I do a little dots on this side and little dots on this side. And then off camera, I go and I put little dots inside each of the black flowers that are in the background, just to bring that yellow into the background as well. And I really think it looks good. You can see that here in the close-ups. But yeah, there's the yellow in the flowers, and they're just so pretty, and I love it. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to watch everybody else that is doing the hop. Bye!